Hello, Leo. Thank you for tuning in. For this read, I'm going to use the Morgan Greer Tarot for the main read by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite, with an E on the end of Waite. And for the support cards, the Romance Angel cards by Doreen Virtue. Okay. 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 All right, so I feel like someone is interested in you. All right, for the majority of you, I do feel like this is more relationship or romantically oriented. There is a work segue into this, so I feel like if you're listening to this, you'll know if that's for you or not. Because the other side is feeling like you're the perfect fit. And I feel like you're very complimenting and you're very conducive. Like I feel like the way you're going about this, you're very nice, and your charm is like really pulling them in. And you're just like I feel like you don't want to be mean, or you don't want to be like. I just feel like you're just being calm. I don't feel like you're really. I don't know. I feel like you might be aware that they think you're going to do something that you're not, or you're more interested than you actually are. But it's more about like just getting along, and like there's. I don't know. You feel like it's kind of. I almost feel like you might look at it like it might be mean for you to like be like, you know what, that's not at all the case here. Like I feel like you don't want to do that. You're just kind of like, maybe I can just kind of move on from this and it'll just kind of disappear on its own. All right. Because I feel like you're getting along and you're having a good time. Whether this be a relationship type thing or if it's a work thing, you're doing things that make the other side feel like you're very into them and they're falling for your charm big time. I haven't used that phrase in a while. It's very, like, they're like, you are awesome, you're the one. Even, especially if it's a work sense, because I feel like your energy's making things happen, getting things going in the right direction, and they're like, yes, this is going to be perfect. But either you're, like, just helping out on the side, or you're getting ready to go on to a different job, something. You're not really that into it, but you are putting like in this full force effort to it. You're enjoying the moment. I feel like you're really enjoying the moment. And you're just like, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this moment. This doesn't have to be an issue. And, you know, I like the attention. It's fine, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't think you realize how much they're like really like into you and what you're doing and your involvement in the situation. I don't think you realize that, but you're getting accolades here. Now, as that happens, I feel like that's when the judgment happens. And I feel like you kind of step away. And I'm getting you step away. I'm not really feeling confrontation here, but I do feel you step away. And you might even say, you know, okay, I'm done. But a lot of these situations, work or relationship, I'm thinking that a lot of you this hits for a relationship. You're saying that, even if you're saying it so casually, it seems that, like, yeah, I mean that, and here we go, and I'm going on, and you go. And they're just, like, not hearing it. Like, they literally, I feel like they, even though you're saying it directly to their face, plain as day, they're just not hearing it. Not hearing it, not believing it. Nope. Oh, you know. They're just like, oh, you have your moments, that's fine. Like, they're just really they don't believe it. Flat out don't believe it. But this is the truth, because you're moving on. And the tower on your side, like, I feel like they start, like, I feel like you're moving on, and you go on, and then they start pushing towards you, like, hey, when you coming back? Hey, when can we hang out? Hey, are you going to be a part of this project? If it's the work thing. And you're just like, I almost feel like you're not responding. But the reason that would be was because you're like, I already said I'm not. Like, this is weird. And, like, you're like, I'm not going to repeat myself. And I feel like that's kind of where you are, but there's a little aggravation on your side that kind of might carry out a little bit. Because I feel like you're a little aggravated. You're like, I never said I was going to do that. Like, I almost feel like you were enjoying the moment, and you just, when you kind of moved on, and I almost feel like for a lot of you, it's just like you just kind of moved on, like, no big deal. Like, it's not like we bought a house together. Like, let's calm down. And they're kind of pushing at you, like, oh, where are you? When can I see you? Blah, blah, blah. Or if it's the work thing, like, oh, come on, we're going to work this weekend, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, never said I was going to do that. In fact, I think I said that I was done. And at first, I feel like you're not responding. But you're getting a little aggravated, and for some reason, there's some type of tie here that I feel like you're getting a little aggravated, but you don't want that to become a part of the situation. For that reason, I feel like you're kind of having this little stalemate situation. And it's kind of like waiting it out for it to stop. Because it goes in, on your side, it goes into the Two of Swords next, which I feel like you're just kind of like, you're stuck. Like, there's no right move here. I'm just going to not. I'm going to do other things. I'm going to do other things, and I'm not going to do this because this is going to cause problems, because this is aggravating me, and I know what's going to happen. I'm going to say exactly how I feel. Then it goes this whole other route, because, people can't handle the truth. Like, I feel like there's a bit of aggravation there, because you're going to be like, if I address this, I'm going to be like, well, I told you, and I don't appreciate you doing this, because I already told you, and I don't understand why you're pushing at me like this. It's not like we bought a house. Like, what's the problem? I feel like that kind of energy is on your side. But there's a stalemate, because I feel like you're just kind of like backing off, not responding, and then they're like starting to get it. And there's just, I feel like there's not much communication. I do feel the sword's going towards them, though, which makes me wonder. Like, you might be, like, your inaction is getting a reaction type feel. Like, they're realizing, like, something ain't right here. Like, I feel like there's a little disconnect here, but they're like, As this part kind of moves on, like, your inaction kind of gets a reaction on their side, and I feel like they finally, like, start to get it. I'm getting, like, there's a moving on feeling on your side, and you just kind of move on. I feel like you might cut ties for a while from whoever this is or whatever this was. Depending on how it is, it might just be just not being around this person or situation. Because I am getting, it keeps coming back, it's like either a relationship or work. And for a few of you, it's a work thing. But it's something you don't have to be involved in, and you just kind of avoid it. Whatever this project situation is, you're avoiding it. But that moves you on from it. Because I feel like you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to address it, so you don't. And the reason you're not is because I feel like you're more aware of, like, how you come off when you're passionate, and it's a little aggravating to you. So you're like, you know what? Instead of having issues, I'm just not even going to deal with it. There's just no reason, because it's just going to make it worse. I already said where I stood. I don't think I'm obligated to go over it ad nauseum with you. Okay. I do feel like whatever it is, it moves on. Both sides move on. I feel like the misunderstanding on their side, I feel like it's a hot-cold feeling. Like, they're a little jilted because they feel like they've been pushed to the side, but they're also still captivated by you, so they're kind of like, well, that's okay. So I feel like there's like a hot-cold feeling on their side. But they're kind of moving on from it. They are moving on. And you are too. I feel like once you move on from it, you're done. You're just like, I'm done. This is like the success. This is like moving on from a victory, in my opinion. Like, you won, and on we go. That's what that says to me. The Nine of Rods. Did I show it? The Free Yourself. This is on their side. This is just where they think you're the match for the situation. You could be the one. This could be the one. That's what they're feeling. That's kind of, which I've talked about through the whole thing here. Anything else here? Sometimes these readings go pretty quick. All right, well, I really feel like I touched on whatever it was we were supposed to touch on here. I think it's just to be aware of, and the way you're handling it, like, I don't see a problem with it. I get, like, I think it was explained through the whole thing why you're doing what you're doing. Like, you're just like, I already said how I felt. I feel like just being aware of what's happening, and going from there, and that it's gonna, like, I feel like there might be a question, like, how long is this gonna go on? Because it might be a little aggravating, and I don't see it going on too long. Maybe a couple weeks with them kind of, like, every now and then just, like, pushing out feelers. But I feel like you're moving on, and just, I feel like even, like, at some point, an email might come across, like, one last ditch effort, and you're just gonna, like, delete it, and just be like, bye. And you'll forget about it before you even stand up and walk away from your desk. Like, it'll be that over. Anything else? Okay. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct read from me, just go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.